Welcome to Real Rutherford. Real people, real talk, real estate. Coming to you live from Rutherford County, Tennessee.
Welcome to Real Rutherford. This week, I'm John Turner.
And I'm Tracy Turner.
We're both citizens of Rutherford County.
Yes.
Have been for many, many years. Me, most of my life. Tracy for over a quarter of a century.
Right. Wow.
Yeah. And we bring you an episode of Real Rutherford every week where we talk about things going on in Rutherford County. We like to say it's real talk, real people, and real estate. Because we both are realtors at Onward Real Estate. We lead the Turner Victory team. And we like knowing what's going on in the county. And we figure since it's part of our job duties to do that, we will share that with you as well.
Right. So hopefully y'all enjoy it as much as we do. So
yes, and we appreciate you joining in.
Yes.
Please make sure you subscribe. Please make sure you share this with your friends. If you have any topic ideas, we always want to bring to you things that you want to listen to. So if you have any topic ideas, please drop those in the comments. We'd appreciate
Send those
that.
to us. We're happy to talk about it. So
yeah.
How's your week been?
Well, I was going to talk about this week. A lot of things happened this week, locally and nationally.
Yes.
And maybe won't get into those quite so much, but I think we'd be remiss if we didn't at least bring up that we just had the 24th, believe it or not, the 24th
anniversary. Yes.
Of 9/11.
Commemorated that last Thursday. It's hard to believe. First of all, 24 years have gone by. I'm sure all of us who have a 19 in front of our birthday certainly remember where we were.
I was going to ask, where were you?
I was on the interstate. I was on Interstate 24, driving toward Nashville. And I was listening to, I think it was like Carl P. Mayfield's show.
You're dating yourself there.
I know. I got a 19 in front of my birthday, so that's okay. But yeah, I was up around the Briley Parkway exit, but I was headed into downtown and heard the news on the radio. And at first, they were speculating that maybe it was a small plane that had, gone astray somehow. And of course, we all know that wasn't the case, and we know what happened. But where were you?
I remember it was a Tuesday. And the way that I remember it, it was a Tuesday. And the way I remember it is every week we would have our sales meeting, whatever you want to call it,
Mm-hmm.
our weekly meeting at work. And we were sitting in that meeting. It was getting ready to start. And I remember Danny Jones. Some of y'all may know Pam and Danny Jones. But Danny came in and said, "There's been a plane that's crashing through the World Trade Center. Let's bring a TV in here and watch it." Because, this is back whenever we had one TV for the whole office. I think you had to wheel it in or something.
Right.
And the rest of us just kind of shrugged it off. We're like, "Oh man, that's bad." But kind of same thought it was a little like Cessna or something like that, and didn't give it much thought.
Right.
And we went on and had our sales meeting. It lasted about an hour. And I remember, even though I worked with my mom, she did not make it to that meeting. She was at home. And after the meeting, I called her and found out it was a lot more than what we really thought originally. And so I went over to her house, and I remember just sitting around watching TV. You just kind of put everything on hold that day and just sat around watching TV, seeing what was going on.
Well, and that's, I worked at Country Music Television at the time. So, and actually our new GM, Brian Phillips, had literally, I think that was his first day.
Oh, wow.
And we all gathered in his office and, watched, like you said, watched the news all day. And of course, he was like, if anybody feels like they need to go home and, be with their family and their kids, please do that. But yeah, it was a very strange and
Yeah,
Strange
just
time for our country.
I think it's one of those days. I remember them saying it back then, and it definitely holds true that number one, you'll never forget where you were when you heard the news,
Absolutely.
and number two, what I mean, it was just really devastating to not only the people of New York and those who were directly affected by it, but it was devastating to our entire country.
Absolutely.
I also remember that evening and on September 12th, and just the sense of unity that we felt across
Yes.
the United States,
That was
and
nice.
yeah, and I will, not to get too much on a soapbox, but we've gotten away from that, and I think this past week is an example of that, and I don't know how we get that back. That gave us basically a common denominator. It gave us something to rally around. And right now, so much of our country is divided. I think it's divided on purpose by those who want to keep us divided. And again, I won't go too far off on the soapbox, but boy, as bad as September 11th was, September 12th was really nice with all the unity.
Yes.
And I wish we had a lot more of that
Yes,
today.
it was. And I think we would be remiss if we didn't give a shout out to our first responders. People who they run toward the danger.
Yes.
And they do everything they can to protect us and keep us safe. So thank you to our firefighters, our police officers, our EMTs, all of our first responders. We appreciate you probably more than we all ever say.
Yes, absolutely do. Which you do does not go unnoticed, even though sometimes it's not expressed to you as much as it probably should.
Right,
Yeah,
right. So anyway.
Well, I think we got a pretty good topic for today, a fun topic.
I think so too. So we are going to get right into it, and we're going to talk about
What are we talking about?
some of the myths about Rutherford County.
Wow.
So some things that you might have heard or,
Especially for people who may be thinking about moving here, but even
Right.
people that are here, some myths, and chime in. Feel free to comment if you think we're on target with some of these, or if we're not. I don't know if we'll get through all. We've got a top 10 list.
Top
I'm not
10,
sure if
but I
we'll
don't
get through all 10 or not, because some of them it might lead into some pretty good discussion here. Tracy and I really don't. We don't rehearse these things. We kind of have a quick outline of things, and we just like
Right.
to talk about it. So we don't know how long
we just
each
kind of go
topic
on the
will
fly.
take.
So
Yeah,
let's see.
yeah. So
Let's see what happens. So let's start out with this first one that it's just a commuter town.
So Rutherford County is just Murfreesboro is just a commuter town.
town,
Smyrna is Laverne. So Rutherford County is a commuter town. And where we're coming from with that is, a lot of people think we're just a little suburb of Nashville, and everybody has to drive into Nashville to
Right.
work
Or to
whatever.
Franklin or somewhere else besides Rutherford County. But that's not actually true.
No.
So
As a matter of fact, I remember hearing something not many years ago, but several years ago, where some of the elected officials were talking about. The question was, how do we alleviate traffic on I-24? Now that's a whole nother
that's
topic.
the age-old question. Right?
And we will not
Yikes.
explore that today.
No.
That
That's
needs
a
to be
whole other
session on
topic,
its own. But one of the things they brought up is they said, if people do not have to get on 24 to go to work, then it alleviates
right.
traffic. So if we could have more jobs here in Rutherford County,
More
where people,
white collar, high paying jobs.
Yeah.
Let's get those companies here. Let's keep people in Rutherford County. So
and there's been a push for many, many years. As a matter of fact, I think one of the reasons why Rutherford County has grown so much is because of not only the employers that we have and the jobs available, but we're really diverse. We don't depend
really
just on any one. I mean, there's some categories that certainly carry more weight than others, but I thought we'd play a little fun game.
Oh, we get to play a game again.
Yes,
Oh,
I know
I'm
how
so
much you
excited.
like games. So
I love game shows.
let's talk about some of the top employers in Rutherford County.
Okay.
So we are going to see how many you can guess of the top
How
I
many?
haven't.
How many do you have?
Well, I had 10.
Okay.
There's at least a couple of them that are questionable. Finding this information was a little bit tougher than I thought it would be, because some of it's a couple years old and some things have changed with some
Sure.
businesses and stuff. So,
Okay.
I know this list was accurate from a couple years ago, but when we get to the changes, we'll talk about that as
Okay.
well. But
All right.
who would you say is the number one employer hires the most employees? Is what we're looking at. Whoever employs the most amount of people. What's number
In
one
Rutherford
for?
County.
In Rutherford County.
My guess would be Nissan.
You are very close.
Okay.
Believe it or not, there is an employer, and it will be someone that you will not even think about. So Nissan has the last count that I could find. Nissan has about 7,000 employees.
Okay.
Now, some things have been going on with them. I don't know if they're still there or not, just with the way the economy is going. I don't know whether they're, I know they're always hiring, but also
Okay.
some things are going on. But there's one more, again, probably will not be anything you'll think of, because a lot of times we don't think of this quote unquote industry as an employer.
I think I know.
Right.
Is it MTSU?
No,
No?
no, but they are. I mean, they are near the top. As a matter of fact, man, you know what? They are not. This list I have right here, they're not on this list, but they are there. MTSU.
Yeah,
I don't know how they got omitted on this list, because I had 3 or 4 different lists I was looking at. It's not MTSU.
Okay. How about Amazon?
Amazon is on the list. They're in the top 5.
Okay.
But
What about my other guesses? Are they in the top 5?
What was rather MTSU?
MTSU and Nissan, like they're
Nissan's number 2. Yes.
okay.
Yes.
Okay. So
MTSU
I got close
is in, if I'm not mistaken, it's top 5 also. I believe.
How about the hospital, like HCA or whatever? Is that?
Which hospital?
Oh,
Actually, both of the main hospitals, St. Thomas Rutherford and Stonecrest, are on here. So those are 2 big ones. But you still haven't come up with number 1 yet, and it's an industry that nobody ever thinks about.
wow. Well, I mean the restaurant industry,
No,
but that's not a specific
Yeah.
employer.
This is
Wow,
always fun.
I'm stumped a little bit.
You want me to tell you?
Well, I guess you better, or else we're gonna waste a lot of time on this podcast, because you'll just hear me sitting here going, I don't know.
The Rutherford County government.
Oh,
So,
okay.
and that would include the Board of Education. So it's not. So it's all the teachers, all the custodians.
Okay.
It's all the road workers. It's the.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
you're right. I would not have thought about that.
We don't think of government as one of the top employers,
right.
and actually, the Rutherford County is the largest one, has almost 72 employees at the last count I found. The city of Murfreesboro has almost 2,600 employees.
Okay.
So those are actually 2 of some of the biggest employers in Rutherford County as well.
All right.
So that was a little misleading there. There's some other ones though on here. You said Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Ingram up in Laverne.
That's right.
Yes, Ingram
That's
employees. Right. Last count I had is about 1,800 workers.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Here's one that's on the list that I'm not really sure of.
Okay.
Okay. Because again, this data is a little bit old.
All right.
State Farm.
That's true.
We had the regional office that was right there at Memorial and DeJarnett. Now, if you're not from around here, you're going to call it Desjardins, okay?
Right. Or
but locals call it DeJarnett.
DeJarnett.
Yeah. And of course, that's been closed down since COVID.
Right? But
so many of those people have gone home to work, so they work remotely.
I bet they're still up there.
Yeah, so I don't know how that really factors into this. So that was one of the ones that was questionable. Assyrian in Smyrna, I've got them about 1,250 employees.
Okay.
And then another one that I would say probably is coming off the list or will be off the list is Bridgestone in Laverne, because Bridgestone, if I remember correctly, has they are shutting down
Yes, I
that
think that's
operation.
correct.
So,
Right. Okay.
but anyway, so that's some of the
Well, that
top
was
employees, and that's just top 10. There's a lot
oh
of
yeah.
others. A lot of tech companies have been coming in now, so we're getting a lot more tech jobs here. I mean, obviously with MTSU, and you hit on MTSU, Middle Tennessee State University, and the number of employees there, but you also have to think about the number of graduates they have. And not only do we need jobs for those graduates, a lot of those graduates are coming out and creating their own businesses. So we
That's
have
right.
that growth of business. If I'm not mistaken, I feel like I saw this on I don't know if it was an advertisement, I don't know if it was on a billboard or what, but I think the largest number, whenever you look at the Nashville employment scene, whenever you look at where people got their degrees from,
Right.
all across Nashville, the highest concentration of people that are employed in Nashville actually have degrees from MTSU.
I think I think that is correct. So
Yeah, MTSU certainly
okay.
helps out with not only Murfreesboro but
Yeah.
Nashville employment. So
Okay.
anyway, so
Well, that
so
was
the
good.
myth
All
that
right.
we have no jobs, we have to commute to Nashville for
Right.
jobs.
Not true.
Yeah, and I will throw this out there too, because this really isn't on that as far as jobs go. But I remember as a kid, we had to drive to Nashville to go buy school clothes. There was
Oh, that's
nowhere
right.
to shop in
That's
Murfreesboro for
right.
school clothes, and now obviously we don't have to do that. We have plenty of places to
Yes.
shop.
Yes. Yes. So, all right. Well, that was a good one for
Yeah.
sure. So let's look at another one, another myth. There's nothing to do. I bet y'all's kids say that a lot. We don't have anything to do. What can we do? And that's just that's not true. We have all kinds of festivals, concerts. I think we talked a little bit last week about Lucky Lad Farms. Like there is a ton of stuff to do.
There is so much to do. As we said earlier, we got a top 10 list. I don't think we're going to get through
I
it
know.
all this time. I've got a highlight of things to do throughout the year.
Okay.
This may take a minute, but
All right.
anyway, let's look at some things that you can do throughout the year.
Okay.
We've talked in previous episodes about the Stones River Battlefield.
Yes.
You could always go out there. You could go explore. You could go walk. You could go to the Welcome Center there. And attached to that and all around Murfreesboro is the Greenway.
The Greenway system is fantastic.
So it's not only for walking. I mean, I know people, I've seen them take their dogs out there, let them go jump in the Stones River. We got dog parks, a couple of dog parks attached to that. There's playgrounds along the way at the General Bragg. Let me see, General Bragg Playground. You've got one at Cason Lane. Over at Barfield Park, you've got it. So there's some things there you can do.
Yeah.
We also can go shopping at the downtown square.
Absolutely.
Just a good time to just go walk around that. I remember years ago when there was nothing going on at square, and they've just done a great job of revitalizing that.
Right.
So,
like Friday Night Live and that kind of thing that happens down there. MTSU, their sports, women's basketball, men's basketball. I mean, baseball, football, there's all the sports.
Between that, almost all year round, you have a game you go to, and it's very reasonably priced to be able to go do that.
That's right. We've got SportsCom in Patterson Park. So you can go there, you can swim. We've done plenty of swimming in those the indoor pools there, and just
you've got the pool at the Smyrna Outdoor Activity Center, SOAC.
That's right, SOAC in Smyrna.
Yeah, so definitely can go there. Percy Priest Lake. Sometimes we forget about the lake being right here. So whether you like to fish, boat, swim, Percy Priest Lake is you can kind of get to it in Walter Hill. Stones River flows into it, starts opening up a little bit out there, but certainly in Smyrna and Laverne, you can access that. We got all sorts of parks we can go to.
Right. We mentioned Barfield Crescent Park, Old Fort, Sharp Springs. There's a ton of parks.
Well, and not just the big ones. There's little, in Smyrna, I could think of what is that, Rosemont or something. It's off Mason Tucker. You've got one off
Yes,
Rock
Rose Hill.
Springs.
Yeah.
You've got one off Pioneer Drive, I think it is. So they're kind
Mm-hmm.
of scattered out in some of the communities with little
Right.
playgrounds there. You've got uh, a couple around Oakland's Mansion area.
Mm-hmm.
So there's all sorts of different. Not only do we have the bigger ones, we have the smaller ones.
Right.
Plus, they are working on the parks on the west side of Murfreesboro as well, and those should be done pretty soon. Whenever I think about the old Fort Park, they now have the skate park over there. They have pickleball over there,
Yes.
outdoor.
Oh,
You also
pickleball.
have the
Yes.
Adams tennis complex over there. Um, so a lot of parks you could go to.
Mm-hmm.
You could go. The fountains at the Gateway have things going on throughout the year. Ice skating in the wintertime.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. In April, Jazz Fest.
Oh, that's right. Main Street Jazz Fest.
That that used to be downtown, and I think they've moved it. I feel like it's at Central Magnet School now, but they've moved it inside anyway, just
Okay.
because.
Just
Yeah, I think
for
for 2 or
weather.
3 years in a row they had to cancel it because we had storms come through. So, some
That's not
things
good.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Um, Gosh, we've got the Saturday market, farmers market that happens. The Borough Art Crawl. That's always a fun time. Um, Again, you can do a picnic at Oakland's Park in the mansion there on the grounds. Kayaking
yeah.
is a good,
Well, and
good thing.
you could go to the dams. You got Nice Mill Dam and Walter Hill over
Mm-hmm.
there also, where a lot of people like to go and kind of swim and everything. Just be careful.
Yep.
I know, especially at Walter Hill, there have been several deaths out there
Yes,
because people
please
don't pay
wear a
attention
life jacket,
to what they
please.
need to
Um,
do. And so, yes. But all sorts of different things. As you mentioned, I think you mentioned Friday Night Live earlier.
mm-hmm.
Throughout the summer, we got the Smyrna Depot District. Depot District has a lot of things going on. So you have the
They
district
do.
days, you have car
The
shows out
car
there.
show, yeah.
Uh, that is Smyrna's downtown area,
Mm-hmm.
just like the square is Murfreesboro's. I feel like you have Old Timers Day in Laverne, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget about the Christmas parades that all the
I
towns have.
know.
They're just so much fun.
I love those.
And then there's some things that you can just do throughout the year. Um, you can go tour Cannonsburg.
Right.
Yeah. And then we have places to play disc golf. Barfield
That's right.
Park.
Barfield Park
Yeah.
has a great disc
Yeah.
golf course. Mm-hmm.
Cedars of Lebanon also, which isn't Rutherford County. It's right across the line,
It's
but
Rutherford adjacent.
Rutherford adjacent. There we go. um, if you like breweries, I mean, there's all sorts. You got Hop Springs, you got Mayday, you got Cedar Glades
Glade.
Brewery.
Mm-hmm.
You actually have Mill Creek, which is right across the line in Williamson County.
That's right.
Barfield Park, we talked about that earlier, but at the
Mm-hmm.
Wilderness Station, they always have things going on there. Golf. You know a little bit about golf
Just
now.
well,
Just started playing a little
I
bit.
know very little about golf, but yes, we have some great golf courses around. So,
Old Fort may be one of the best public city-run courses there are
and
in
they
the
just
state.
redid that, right?
Yeah, they made a lot of changes to that recently. Speaking of changes, Stones River, which is a private course, Stones River
The
Country
country
Club,
club, right?
they are in the process of redoing that. It's
Completely
looking
redoing it.
great, and I'm not sure when they plan to open that back up, but they're getting closer.
Mm-hmm.
You have Champions Run out in Rockville,
Right. Cedar Crest.
Cedar Crest up in the kind of Walter Hill area. You have Smyrna Golf Course, which is a very nice public course
Mm-hmm.
as well. And at Smyrna, you have the executive course, which is the shorter. Some people call it a par 3 course.
Yes.
And
That's where I play. And I use that word play very
loosely.
loosely.
Yes.
Yes.
And also, you have Bloomfield Links, which is attached
That's
to
right.
Old Fort,
That's
which is another shorter
like an
course, beginner
executive type
executive course. Yeah,
course.
par 3. I think that one truly is all par 3, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, so that's just whenever people say there's nothing to do, we just barely scratched the surface.
Oh yeah. I mean,
There's
we
all
got like
sorts of
3
things.
pages worth of stuff. So
Yes.
so there's always plenty to do no matter the season. So
Yeah.
get out and explore Rutherford County a little bit.
I think what we should do is that we should call this the top two myths
Top
about
two.
top two.
Okay.
In the interest of time, but what we will do is let's revisit
Yeah, let's come
some
back
of
to
these
some
that
of
we did
these
not
because
get to these because I think it's really fun.
they're really good.
I do want to throw this one
And
out
especially if there's a game show portion involved for me because that's fun. So,
there. Yeah. Well, let's make this a game show because
oh,
what do you call a person who walks around? Talk about myths.
okay.
What do you call a person who walks around Nashville or Murfreesboro, or whatever, with a cowboy hat and boots on?
You call them a tourist.
Tourist. There you go.
Out of towner. Out of towner. Yes.
Exactly. That is a myth. I think people think we would make cowboy boots.
I do have some cowboy boots, but that's we don't all just dress like that all day, every day. So that's funny. That's a good one.
Yeah. Right. As always, we also like to bring you just a little real estate tidbit.
Yes.
So, what Tracy and I thought we would talk about today is about resale. About resale, not so much resale value, but just resale. And a lot of times we have clients and they tell us, "Oh, this is going to be my forever home."
Right.
Have you ever heard that?
I have heard that, and yeah, I don't know if we've said that or not, but I think when we bought this house, you said, "I love this house. I don't know if it's our forever home," and I had to remind him that if we live in this house as long as we were in our other house, that it probably is our forever home because we're gonna be 70 or something. I don't know.
70's not old now. You make 70 sound like it's over the hill. You may offend some of our listeners there, Tracy.
Not at all.
So, but you do need to think about resale.
Absolutely. Even if you don't think you're ever going to resell your house.
I cannot tell you how many times we've gone on a listing appointment with some of our clients, and they're like, "We want to sell the house," and we joke around. We're like, "I thought you said this is going to be your forever home."
Right, but things change.
Things change.
Job situations change. Maybe you have kids in another state and you're going to be a grandparent all of a sudden and you want to move closer to those grandbabies. We see that happen a lot.
Yes.
So in spite of your best intentions or whatever to, this is going to be my forever home, it doesn't always work out that way.
Yeah. So whenever you're buying a house, keep in back of your mind resale and think about what you can change and what you can't change. If you buy a house and you don't like the ugly paint,
that's easy to change.
Easy to change.
Paint is super easy. That's about the easiest thing that you can do.
If you are buying a house and you feel like you're getting a really good deal on it because there's train tracks in the backyard.
Sure.
Those are always going to be there. You cannot change that. So you also are probably going to be looking to sell to someone who either really loves trains or they're going to be looking for that same discount because there's train tracks in the backyard. So whenever you're looking at a house, there are things that can be changed, and that's fine. You'll want to change those, but pay attention to the things you can't change because those really can have an impact whenever you resell your house.
Because even if it doesn't bother you, it may possibly bother someone else, and it could hinder you in the future.
Yeah. So that's our real estate tidbit for this week. Do we have any upcoming events? Anything going on in Murfreesboro? I feel like we just talked about there might be some things going on in Murfreesboro.
We did. Yeah, we've got a couple things to highlight this week, which I think we mentioned last week. So on Friday, the 19th, we've got Friday Night Live, which is on the Square in Murfreesboro, and that is with Backstage Brass. That's a high energy mix of jazz, funk, and soul. So that sounds like a lot of fun. So
Friday Night Live always brings out the community.
It does. It really does.
I have not looked at the weather forecast for this week, but if it's anything like it's been the past while, it should be great weather for that.
Beautiful evenings.
And would expect a huge crowd out there.
Yep, absolutely. They do have parking available around the square, but you probably want to get there early because, again, as you said, there's always a great turnout for these events. So
well, and kind of in not not really in conjunction, but going on kind of at the same time is you've got MTSU's homecoming this week.
That's
So you're going to
right.
have possibly people coming in from out of town.
Right, because
Some may be
they're going to
going
play
to
Marshall.
Friday night. Yep,
Yeah, they're going
yep,
to play Marshall this weekend.
yep.
So,
But you have all the activities, a lot of Friday night
hmm
activities with alumni. Saturday, you should have the parade.
that's
You
right.
got the football game Saturday evening at 6. So just a big weekend of things going on in the downtown area because MTSU is not far from there. So
That's
just a
right.
lot of traffic, different things in that area.
That's right.
Plus, remember that Saturday down there too, you'll have the farmers market.
hmm
So just if I mean, you can just go spend your whole weekend
Spend all weekend
downtown
at
in
the square.
Murfreesboro
Yeah,
and on MTSU's
that's
campus.
right.
Yeah.
And then one other thing, this Saturday is actually the final day of the Smyrna Depot Farmers Market. So that's going to be wrapping up for the season. That's from 8 a.m. to noon. And of course, all the local vendors with the produce and baked goods, crafts, and more. So come out and enjoy that.
Yeah, you got to
So
take advantage of that lesson.
I know.
It's so hard to believe. I mean, it just seems like yesterday we're like, man, when are the farmers markets opening? And the one in Smyrna ends now. I feel like the
hmm
one in Murfreesboro, we could double check on this, but I feel like it runs to about the middle of October
Maybe
if I remember
so. Maybe
correctly. But
so. But
obviously, some of the produce and things they have start dropping off just because it's
that's
getting out of
right.
season.
That's right.
Uh, but always a big time, and mixed feelings for me because
I
I know
know.
I'm loving football season, but I know we're coming to the end of summer. Fall is fun, but it's just
And it's
not summer.
beautiful here in Middle
Yeah.
Tennessee. So, but yeah, it's not the hot summer that we love, but it's still a great time. So,
Yes.
uh, all right. Well, I think that's all
Thank
we
thank
have
y'all for
for
tuning in.
today. Yeah.
We uh, our listenership has been growing. We appreciate y'all sharing this. It means a lot to us.
Yeah.
Every time you share it, every time you comment, it helps get the word out there about the
It
podcast.
does.
And,
It
and
does.
and again, please comment if there's anything you would like for us to cover.
hmm
Any hot ideas, any topics, we
Yes,
certainly want to bring every aspect of Rutherford County we can to you.
we do. So, I guess that's it. Hopefully, we will see you next week. And until then, keep it real, Rutherford.
Real Rutherford is a production of the Turner Victory Team at Onward Real Estate. License number 276665. Please check us out at turnervictory.com.